let's explore some specific ways of thinking to help us bring the magic of the Shabbos into our date. There are two distinct and different approaches, both of which must be put into practice. The Ten Commandments appear twice in the Torah, or the Bible. Once in the book of Exodus, or Shemot, and once in the book of Deuteronomy, or Devarim. In the first time that they are mentioned, which is Parshat Yitro and Shemot, God tells us there to observe, honor and observe the Shabbat, Zechor et Yom HaShabbat, the Kadisho. Second time around, God tells us to guard the Shabbat, or Shamor. According to Jewish tradition, the commandments Zachor, to remember, or to honor, and Shamor, to guard, or to keep an eye on, were heard simultaneously by the Jews at Sinai. These separate requirements address different aspects of this special day. In Shamor, which is the guard, we are told to refrain from any activity not in the spirit of Shabbat, such as working or even discussing business. Zachor, which means honoring or remembering, means celebrate the holiness of the day. Celebrate Shabbat with song, prayer, and festive meals. So one is a commandment to refrain from behavior that would desecrate the Shabbos, while the other is an active commandment to undertake activities that make the day special and holy, with festive meals, with delight, with happiness, with doing whatever you can to bring holiness to the day. These two elements are absolutely crucial in our relationships when we date, which is to guard our dates and to honor our dates, and I'll explain. To be successful in dating, you need to honor and guard the relationship on each encounter. You must go out of your way to make the person that you're dating feel distinguished and honored by your attention. And you must guard against doing anything that might disrupt the harmony and enjoyment of the date. For example, as well as complimenting your date on their appearance, make sure to avoid being distracted from the conversation. Make sure your eyes don't wander in the restaurant. Make sure that you just don't magically, get distracted and go off and get totally blindsided in the conversation. Don't daydream or think about the things you have to do tomorrow and worry about how you can do them if you're tired and get home late. Compare the honorable aristocrats. Now, about a month ago, I lectured on the subject of how to date properly, that one should date as a peasant and one should not date as an aristocrat, meaning that today we're like the aristocrats of 300 years ago. We have TMC, too much choice, because we can afford vacations and cars, etc. And as a result, that is hampering our efforts to get married. Whereas the peasant, who has very little choice, knows what he needs very clearly and is able to get married right away because he doesn't have to deal with a plethora or diversity of choice. Wealthy people find it relatively easy to honor the person that they're dating. Free of financial constraints, they can afford to buy the best gifts and to take time off from work in order to devote more time and attention to the person that they're dating. As they usually feel confident and good about themselves, they are adept at complimenting and supporting the person that they're dating, the boy or the girl. However, to guard, as in guarding the Shabbos, to guard their dates, that's more difficult for these aristocrats. Accustomed to privilege as they are and lots of choice, they often balk at committing themselves directly to one person, are unwilling to sever ties with old lovers, or change their bad habits in order to please someone else. For them, success means never giving anything up. And if you can't give anything up, how do you expect to get into a relationship where you are exclusive with one person? Although they have so much, they are hindered by their reluctance to sacrifice. And what is dating and marriage if not sacrifice? These aristocrats must learn the lessons of Shamor, which is the guard, if they are to find happiness in their love lives. With the faithful peasants, that is, most people like you and I, value their dates, value the people that they're in a relationship with, because they view relationships as vital to getting through life happily. They are not accustomed to and don't expect ever to have financial independence, nor are they interested in a life of emotional independence. They want someone to share their lives with. So while these quote-unquote peasants may and should aspire to gain the means to introduce more zachor or honor in their dating, spiritually they have so much more to offer their dates.